This is right. All right, look at that. All right, so Red Black Knights, this is similar to the last deck we played, but instead of the blue splash, we've got a little bit more consistent mana. We're also leaning on tournament grounds to have a bunch of untapped lands. So while the Grixis deck was good, it does take a lot of damage from its mana base. We've got Spawn of Mayhem and Embercleave at our top end here. We've got Order of Midnight as another evasive threat, as well as to generate some card advantage by picking up our threats. So having a good, like, 2, 3, 4 flying curve seems potentially very good in this deck. So let's go ahead and dive into some games and see how they go. I am actually going to swap this Legion's End to a Lava Coil before. Nah, I'm gonna leave it. Let's see how this feels. See if we can manage to climb. We started today at 26 on the ladder, and I probably should have just played constructed events, because playing ladder matches is just like wholly punishing. If you manage to hit a good streak and get high up, the correct answer is usually just stop playing. Speaking of people who are high up, queuing into William Jensen. Not that he really needs his ladder spots. It's a good die roll to win. Our hand's very good here. We get to go turn 1 this, turn 2 this. Turn 1 tapped land, chat. That's what we like to see around here. Match 1, game 1, Jensen. That one, please. Ooh. We get to drill bit this turn and then Embercleave them next turn. You didn't have plays before the 3rd turn, right? That's a lie. Rats. Hashtag never lucky. That's fine. They're very likely dead here. Pretty sure we just do nothing there. So I don't want them to have a chance to draw a sweeper. They're in, like, technically not dead yet mode when they cast this Crisis. Then we, like, Embercleave them. Alright, so a couple copies of Duress come in here, for sure. The Ashiok's fine. The endless sparkling noise in my ears is not so good. I think we cut Foulmire Knight. It's not blocking here. Yeah, Cleave gives trample. Doesn't matter what they block. I just trim a Swordsmith too, probably. I think I like leaving in a few copies of these to, like, murder our way through Crisis and Golos. Other things that could gum things up for us. The start is so good, but, like, they're on the play, and if they have a blocker, that hand's just, like, dumpster fire rate. What do we bottom here? So this hand's obviously very good. I think it's Order of the Midnight. I think. think my plan is to lead on... My plan is to lead on this, grab a mountain, play this. If our mana was a little bit better here, we'd be more excited. Like if I'd have gotten to Duress on one, but... Like, ideally we're not going to get Tefreed here. Just a Beanstalk Giant. Sweet. Off McNamara, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people you can ship that to every single month. Thanks for sending it my way this month and keeping me employed. Ooh, that's a really good draw. So I think I needed to rest here because next turn they could have a sweeper. Well, wholly punished. Wholly punished for not just jamming Spawn. Was not expecting Clarion. Clarion's a good one to have on our radar. I think I just do these three. I think we just, like, don't play around a third sweeper here. Just all in. I have a confession. I only subscribe because I need some magic-related tech support. There's a good chance people in this chat can give you a hand. So we're going to see a giant here. Yeah, that's fine. Is it crazy to just take their growth spiral here because I can beat Beanstalk Giant? Like these two cards are super beatable, right? Skunky Blitz, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Like, if their play next turn is, like, ramp plus play a giant, like, that's super good for us, right? Read your... Oh, did we have a donation I missed? Oh, I totally missed it. Thank you, Red Leopard. Sorry about that. The current carbon capture storage costs $97 per ton. Humans produce 12 gigatons of excess carbons per year, which means we can solve a global problem with $1.2 trillion. Yeah, I mean, lobbying's the reason for most things, right? Unfortunately. Is it possible to run Moto or Arena on a Samsung Chromebook? Yeah, you have to install Linux on your computer. I'm actually streaming from a Linux computer right now. Look up wine and on a Linux system. So, do I commit more to the board here? Yeah, I think so. I think I want to commit more just because this is out of range of Clarion. If they hit like a time wipe, I'm okay with that. I think this deck could benefit from the 3/1 Flash Knight. Yeah, we played that card in the past. I don't know if it's better than, like, what do we cut and why do we cut it? The title not updated, or is my stream messing up? I don't know. Let's find out. The title is not updated. Let's fix that. Thanks for the heads up. Weird. Twitch just like randomly doesn't update the title. I don't know. Twitch seems to be foobarring. I've clicked the update button. Do I want the 3-1 knight? I kind of feel like I don't have room. Like I look at this deck and I feel like if I'm fitting him in, the only place he fits is over this, which might be fine. Like maybe he's better than this. Control Spawn, get out of here, you're crazy. That seems fine. This is the last deck of the day. This is going to be the last deck of the day. I am returning to what I refer to as a normal human schedule this week. So, for those of you that are not here early, I go live about 7 a.m. each day. So my goal on a normal human schedule is to be done by 2:30 each day. So about 7.5 hours. Because I have another half hour to an hour's worth of work that I do once I stop being live. So my goal is to work sub 9 hours per day. I know it's very unmillennial of me to strive to work less than. This ladder system is such poop. We just queued into Huey again. I should not. I've like huge regrets playing the ladder today. Definitely should just not have played ladder matches today. This card isn't about gaining life. This card is good because it drains your opponent. Think of this card as like Lightning Helix. It's really good. Yeah, we've double queued a bunch of times today. It's not been a good scene. All right, Rankle, let's go. And then I'm a giver, so everybody can get a card here. They're dead on board, but there's a good chance they already have a sweeper, so I'd much rather just give myself more gas. We did beat them the first time. They cast 0 time wipes in the first match though, so you know, that's probably part of it. Water Cat doling out a pile of sub-gifties. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to our newest members of Hoaglandia. Hope you're having an excellent one wherever you are. Hopefully they're just on the dead side of the scale here, getting Clarioned. With this in hand, we have a way to pick this back up. Yeah, if they sweep, I can order and rebuy Rankle. Honestly, not playing 4 of this card might be wrong. Wow, double Fae of Wishes is brutal. I was going to say, well, we can murder one of those. Just Guy Fire with Cavaliers. Watercat, can I ask that you email or DM me the specific link? Because I've had a bunch of people submit that deck, so I want to make sure it gets to the right one. I think I just do this. I think I just do this and pass. How do we beat 1/4s with flying? Very carefully. Huh? Do I just pick up and play Spawn here? I think we're on the... Actually... You think we just pick up and play Spawn? Just like, hope they don't have another sweeper. Yeah, the upkeep pings. If they have a fires, they have a guaranteed sweeper because they can fires, pick up Fae of Wishes, cast the sweeper out of their sideboard. But I think this is our best line to win, so we're gonna give it a go. With the Menace, should we have swung there? No, because they would have blocked a 2/2. They would have blocked a 2/2 plus a 1/4 on this, and they would have blocked the 1/4 on Rankle. All right, so they're at 5. I can play this. I think Smitten kills them, right? Yeah, because I can play double order here. Nope, not with that land. So we do this, and we do this, this. Yeah, remember when someone was asking about cutting this card? Nah, Boros Charm you. Again, best source of card advantage in Standard, chat. Killing them with cards in their hand. Doesn't get better in terms of card advantage than that. Kill them while they have a pile of cards in their hand. Do I want Legion's End in this matchup? I almost feel like I might. How do we feel about Legion's End? It gets rid of Krasis and zombies. Is it better than Murderous Rider? It's probably not better than Murderous Rider. Yeah, we re-queued into Huey, Bob. The ladder's been real bad about that today. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Knights in Historic is gonna be really sweet. Probably Knights versus Vampires are gonna get to vie for the top aggro deck. Anything super... Yeah, we had a bunch of good runs today. Even the modern deck was good this morning, Bob. Just been like kind of a good Monday overall. Have to bottom 2 cards here. Hopefully we draw a black source. I don't know. I could see it being right to bottom tournament grounds here. Perfect. I'm gonna lead on Duress, I think. Super punished. Super punished. No, most reasonable people think Historic's a lame title. So we don't get to trigger this, but getting Spawn into play here is nice. Yeah, the fact that it's a mechanic in Magic also is weird and confusing. Sure. Yep. So, Fae of Wishes lets them sweep my board next turn, right? So we just do this and smack them. And there's a good chance we're dead here. But we'll see. We'll see. We're up like a Rankle off the top. They're like likely dead, so I assume my creatures are dying here. I don't think I really need more cards to sideboard in here, though, Dr. Mr. Punny. I feel like the way our deck's constructed gives us a pretty okay matchup here. Yeah, they have to pay normal mana for Crisis. So we'd love to draw a Rankle here, ideally. Which really makes me think maybe I should get to 4 Rankles in this deck. That's something that Grixis deck was doing. It was very good for a reason. Wait. Okay, so this lets them play Crisis this turn or another spell? Sure. Man, that Fires card is super strong, chat. Always impressive, that Fires card. Oh, it's the only sweeper they have? They don't have, like, a time wipe in their board? That's weird. I guess that makes sense. My tinfoil hat says historic is evidence that they're going to kill modern. Now that's just FUD. Just some good old-fashioned fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yeah, but there's not necessarily a time wipe in their sideboard, so they Fae of Wishes for this Planar Cleansing. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the Teamer deck, E-Man. If we don't have a good ladder run with this, the Teamer deck's definitely going to be my try and climb back up again. I think that's the bigger threat. Just because, like, they can pick that up later and then reuse it. Of course, all of their lands are making 4 power worth of stuff, so we're probably just dead here. Rankle can attack through either of those things. The opponent's configuration of... The opponent's configuration is honestly probably better against us than most Golos decks, just because they have so many more flying blockers. They have Wishes being a flying blocker is big game. Which, the fact that that's big game kind of makes me want some Legion's End. But I also don't really know that I have anything I want to cut that much. I think I'm pretty happy with all the cards that we have. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to just, like, get a good draw on the play. I don't know how the opponent's deck ever beats Questing Bees. Yeah, I agree, Bob. Like, the Teamer QB deck is real good. Speaking of real good, you know what 1/4 flyers don't block? 2/2s with Menace. 2/2s with Menace. And we get to drill bit on 3 to see if they're going to Clary on us on their 3 before we jam the second Crusader here. Big Crisis, yeah, kind of. So, like, one of the things that's, like, a really bad thing that Magic players do constantly is whenever you bring up a card like Questing Beast that's good against the field decks, people are constantly like, well, Jeff, Questing Beast doesn't beat everything out of the field deck, so it's not good. It's like, sure, Questing Beast single-handedly doesn't beat the field deck, but Questing Beast in combination with other good, reasonable Magic cards applies a lot of pressure to run them down. So no one reasonable is saying Questing Beast is like fix every problem type card, but it is a piece of a winning puzzle. Like in conjunction with other useful things, it's very good. All right, so their hand is pretty good here. I think I just take the Golos. think I'm just taking Golos and then doing this and attacking them. Like, this eventually finds a sweeper, but that's, like, pretty slow, right? I guess they could have a Clarion in their sideboard, potentially, here. But, like, I'm getting in for 6 next turn. I am giving them a bunch of cards, though, too, so there's that aspect. Yikes. Well, I guess we just use our mana, huh? When in doubt, draw more cards. Why not make them discard when you're this flooded? It doesn't really matter. So I assume all of our creatures are dying this turn. The question is how. Next turn I can champion plus spawn, and then the following turn we can order plus Rankle again out of the graveyard. I suppose if they don't just have a 5-mana sweeper here, Clarion... No, Clarion does kill Rankle on this board. I guess there's possible they don't have a Clarion in their sideboard, though. And, like, I'm sure he's got a ton of decision trees here. Alright, well, they just played Field of the Dead, so I assume we're not dying. Field of the Dead would imply, or not sweeping. Field of the Dead would imply to me that we're not sweeping. Weird that he sequenced Growth Spiral. I feel like you'd want to Growth Spiral first to see if you hit Clarion. I wonder if he drew the Clarion off of the Growth Spiral. I feel like he's sequencing correctly there, because if he sequences it the other way, he ends up with a 2/2, right? And then doesn't have to take a hit here. Yeah, I mean, I think we can assume he drew it just based on his sequencing, right? Yeah, it's a small mistake, right? That adds up, right? Because we were able to do this. So if they have a 5-mana sweeper in their sideboard, they can get it and play it here. Someone earlier said that he didn't have one, but looks like that's not the case. So time wipe, sure. So Rankle's going to put them to 2 next turn. And then Swordsmith should hopefully be able to close things out for us. Order of Midnight's been very good. Been super, super impressed with him. Next turn I can go thing, and then do this. Was this the mull to 5 game? I don't remember. I don't remember what we started on here. And they definitely could gain life here, right? So they're not just dead to the Swordsmith. I don't know. So, like, Fae is actually really interesting in the Golos deck because it's a cheap blocker, right? One of the reasons why this card's a really elegant design is because its front side is good against aggro and its back side is good in the control and the Golos mirrors. So I think just including this card's probably correct. If he can't gain life here, he's just dead to the Smitten Swordsmith. I suppose he could have instant speed removal, but we haven't seen any of that out of them yet. And they have to deal with, like, taking the Rankle off the board or blocking it. Hydroid Krasis is obviously an ideal pick for here, but we have Murderous Rider in our hand to cover that as an avenue too. Okay. Seven. Is he still dead? Why did we... Oh, they shocked because they can gain 5 more. Okay. I think we're short now, right? Alright, so we have to kill this, obviously. Yeah, Kenrith with fires is very powerful for sure. I think I just pass here. If they have another Kenrith, we're probably dead. Outside of Kenrith, I feel like we're in an okay spot. But yeah, if they have another Kenny. Okay. Yeah, I think this one's too far gone. So I can do this. And then cast this. And then cast this. And then I guess we can drain them for 3. Like there's no way these cards in their hand don't kill us, right? It was a close game. We're at 15 here. We have one free block. These can't block. Time wipe lets them like clear the board and just pick the Hydroid Crisis back up and recast it, which is pretty strong here. So Hydroid Crisis notably does not interface well with this, but like having all of your mana to just do this is pretty good still, so. Okay. Alright, yep, that'll do, pig. That'll do. That's a card. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever in the world. We're going to do a quick chill while we restart Arena. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream Magic full-time here on this channel. I'm here 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks every day, and you tend to get a lot of variety in what I stream because of that. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental string arrangements, everything from Zelda to Zeppelin, and they would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on services such as Spotify and Apple Music. BCW Supplies, the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards, using code HOGLANDIA at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck boxes, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there with them. Cardsphere.com is a peer-to-peer trading network that would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. we're now 1-1 after playing against William Jensen twice with our Red Black Knights deck. Let's head on into our third match where hopefully we'll play someone else. I feel like this deck is probably less powerful than the Teamer deck we've been playing. And definitely has less mythics in it. I don't know how I feel about it compared to the Grixis deck we were playing before this. Yeah, right back into the queue. I mean, to be fair, it would be the best of 3 for the best of 3, right? I just want some variety in my life. Is all I want. Right on time, Knight. Welcome to the party. I think I'm just playing this turn. Only recently did Hearthstone make it so you cannot face the same opponent consecutively on the ladder. It's an obvious thing to do that took them a shockingly long time to implement. Yeah. What? Would this be a good user experience? Probably. Well, they took my drill bit. This is a pretty good draw. Yeah, Heldrick, you lose anywhere between 10 and 100 ranks per loss. And you always win back less rank than you lost. When you lose, you always lose more than you gain when you win. So, I should have skipped playing rank today. It was a mistake. Now that we've played it though, we have to keep playing until we try and hit a good streak. And then, next time we hit a good streak and break like top 100, we'll probably just play constructed events for the rest of the ladder season. Because that's how this crummy ladder system works. Thanks for the 7 months, Moxan. Came for the intelligent magic, stayed for the 1-drops. God bless. Smork. Alright, so they have to bounce something because they're dead on board, right? Can you actually coach for that long? Yeah, I think you can. We're 1 short of lethal here. I think I killed Teferi so I can play this at instant speed. This gives them 2 life back, but I think being able to play this after they sweep the board is valuable here. Hey, New Genesis. Thought I sent this. I'll be sending you my monthly deck. Sounds good. I appreciate the very generous tier 3 resub. Be sure to double check and make sure you didn't already send a deck, because the way their system works, it does send the notification late a lot of the time. Yeah, denying an instant speed board wipe is also valuable. It's a good observation. Yeah, the Fervent Champion animation is really slick. Agreed. So that's the only one that's good for them to bounce, because the rest of them all have haste or burn. Oh, that's such a beating. Ugh. I think I'm supposed to hit Teferi again here. Feels bad, man.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
As Othakai just gained them 7 life this game, and they're at 6. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known again. Do-do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Lots of fun, Bob. So much fun I can hardly contain it. Do they have a 6th untapped land? Maybe I shouldn't have played this, and I just should have held up the pump on this, so this can't die to Oath. I think that's very possible. Yeah, to a degree, Bob. The problem is that, like, even the super greedy decks in this format have just, like, there's so many cards that are just incidentally good against aggressive decks that, like, you can't, it's really hard to, like, fully punish them. Like, they don't really get wholly punished for, like, not having any respect. You, like, just put, like, 4 Othakai in your deck. Or, like, any other small segment of cards, you just, like, put 4 of them in your deck and you automatically, like, are 40 or 45% against the aggro decks. All right, 1 brick. One brick. One brick. God bless us, everyone. They could have scryed, but then they didn't have mana to cast their spells. So I think I actually trim Embercleave in this matchup. Maybe I just get to enough mana to cast this for 6. Like, we don't go wide too often. And, like, this is medium against spot removal, but also, like, makes my worst creatures better late. I mean, I actually think this is fine. Like, I want my cards that kill them. Like, again, we are not the control deck. We don't want to, like, make ourselves super reactive in this matchup. How am I liking Spawn over Reggie? Spawn's been good. Spawn is much better against the Golos decks. Is the big appeal from it. Oh, Teferi disables Flash on Embercleave. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Alright, I think I want to drill bit this turn. Just to get it while the getting is cheap, basically. Brick, 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 brick. Alright, you know, I mean, sure. One of your finest bricks, please. All right, they're pretty likely to get there next turn, right? But that's fine. The damage is done. We drew a card. All right, who's got 2 thumbs and no time to play around a sweeper? This guy right here. I'm such a giver, chat. Oh no, how will I ever replace this valuable card I've lost? Wow, they still missed a land. That's so good for us. Oh, chat. It's not, Well, I'm attacking 4, and then, all right, that one it is. As you will. Bumble and die. I'm in love with Scions too, so I think my response when I tell you I like the Grixis build better is biased. Scion's a really sweet card. This list has felt good. All the flying threats in this build notably have felt very good. That's my big takeaway from playing this configuration is the 2, 3, 4 flying threats feel fantastic. Winning die rolls also feels fantastic for those of you that never experienced that before. It's like pretty busted. We played against this person 3 times on Saturday night, and it looks like they've changed decks. They were playing Groll the 3 times we played them on Saturday night. Magic's a small indie game with a very tiny player base. You play the same people a lot. Delta Cass, thank you for the 9 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Land. I think I'm just drill bitting here. Narset is bad for us. Kinda, we can attack her. The Teamer Oko deck that we've been playing would be my recommendation for that. Give this Death Touch to cut through the Grazer.
Wait a moment.
Yeah, feels bad to lose our card draw, but that's what it is. I think we'd have been fine this game if we'd have drawn a couple of lands, but you know, that's Magic sometimes.
Open your heart to the magic that dances around you. Welcome to the feast.
All right, so I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so not quite lethal yet. So they're gonna get to Liliana next turn. But I'm not sure that really matters. I guess I can kill both their planeswalkers here. But that leaves them at 12. Am I okay with that? I could just go all upstairs. I think I send this here and send these this way is my plan.
This was overwhelming.
I think that's my line. I could just Rider Oko here too. That's probably not unreasonable. That denies them a 3/3 next turn too, which is nice. And then, like, in the event that we draw a red source, Embercleave is very lethal. Here, a lot of the MPL saying Oko is oppressive. What are your thoughts? I think he's fine. I think there's a lot of genuinely powerful things to be doing in this format, and that's part of its appeal. Alright, well, we're hoping to draw a land here so we can rankle them. Have a card because I'm a giver. All right, they're at a virtual 6 with this food token in place. They're not dead on board. They are potentially very dead to this Embercleave, though. Assuming their other 3 cards are not interactive, we could see Liliana be played in down tick here. Is a potential way they can get out of this situation. Interesting. Sure. Are they dead to the drain? They are not, right? Because that requires me 7 mana. Oh yeah, there's a food too. So hopefully they play Liliana and -4, and then they don't do anything else, and I end step Black Knight, untap Embercleave, and kill them. Because this will make the black lands hit for 8. Is it 1/1 double strike? Ritual of Soot, yep. Tournament Grounds makes red for Embercleave. For people that weren't aware of that, it makes red for equipment spells. Crunch. Crunch. Yeah, if Tournament Grounds didn't make red for Embercleave, this deck would not be playing Embercleave. All right, so they have Vraska and Oko, so I probably want these Grasps. I know they just died to this card, but I think this is a matchup where it comes out. Against Ritual of Soot, I feel like I want to trim some of my cheaper threats. Maybe it's just Champion. Leave in a couple of drill bits. That seems fine. Could also be Smitten Swordmaster. Like if they're on a bunch of sweepers, the reach is less appealing. And this helps enable quick drill bits, which is nice. Let's try this. Any deck I queue up, as soon as I meet the flash deck, get in trouble. How do I play around all their counter spells? I mean, the answer to that question is it depends. It depends on like what your hand looks like, what your deck looks like, etc., etc. This hand is excellent. So, one of the things, and this is a general Magic strategy thing, is that generally speaking, in post-sideboarded games of Magic, all decks tend to become more interactive because they're able to tailor which interaction is good for a particular matchup. So it's not even just specific to these two decks, but most decks in Magic are more interactive in sideboarded games. Which makes a card like Embercleave less good, because not only are we interacting more, but our opponent's also interacting more, which means we're going to have less big attacks on average. And sometimes your opponent just really wants it more than you and you die. And that's okay. That's just how Magic the Gathering works.
Its loss will serve us.
I'm just going to make us both discard here. Rankle in a way makes Vraska worse, just because this chokes them on resources overall, so like converting their lands into other things isn't as useful. They have Witch's Vengeance in their deck. That's a good card to be aware of. Man, they really do not want to lose to Knights, huh? So I feel like if they lose this match, they should probably take their deck and throw it out, huh? You got that much hate? Think we're about to get trophied? What is even happening? Has our opponent never played against Questing Beast? Their deck is wild. This is, I feel like I just can't ever not register Questing Beast. Just like, losing this is way too tilting. Right? Because it's not good enough, right? Because you're like, there's Questing Beasts that slaughter you. I guess a Boreal Grazer blocks this, huh? I don't have anything in my bin for this to get back yet. That's so awkward. Give Vraska a target. Go.
Your end is nearer than you think.
Maybe it's wrong to play this out. All right, so I can't take damage from a creature. All of their creatures are lethal because of this. Oh yeah, that's actually true. It's specifically combat damage. Yes, it is. If there was a record for most beatable emblem in the game, it's definitely this one. I'm gonna hold on to this because I want to be able to save this from a -3/-3 spell. They also have Ritualist in their deck, which I'd prefer to play around. Correct. Yeah. On the other hand, Castle Locthwain. Let's go. All right, and I think we're at a point where I'm making them discard this turn then. Just to try and run them on resources a little bit. All right, like demand another sweeper, go. They have Questing Beast. That's a good question. I don't know. They sacrificed their second green mana earlier, so I would kind of be surprised if they had Questing Beast. All right, so they're dead on board. They're dead to that. Pump up, the bump up, the wump up, the jam. 141. All right, let's try and run hot for one more match here, and then we might try and sit on the rank. Should have just played constructed events all day today, but instead we're here gambling. Yeah, they're decking a lot of interesting card choices in it. We played against Jensen twice and we went 1-1 against him. Q's into diamond loses. Yep. Yeah, that's probably the direction in which we're heading. 50-second Q time. Oh, Arena. Oh, Arena. Not a 50-second Q time. Man, who called the Q into diamond? Whoever called the Q into diamond, if we lose, I want you to know you're gonna get what you had coming. Lost the die roll and mulligan. Ooh, that's a good draw, though. That's a good draw. So we're hoping they don't have a blocker so we can deploy Spawn this turn. Things that don't block for 100. We could get swept on their next turn, though. We could have end step, growth spiral. Untap 5 mana. If they don't sweep on 5, Spawn plus Embercleave kills pretty quickly. Yep. No white source. No white source. Yikes. Love the YouTube content. Glad I could catch a live one. Welcome to a live one, Stegall. I appreciate the support. So next turn, we're going to be throwing this away into a zombie to play Embercleave. They don't have a land. Oh. Well, that's really good. Alright, well, 11 you. Well, they could have a sweeper, right? Because they have like 5 spells in their hand at a minimum. It's like, would not be surprised if we get swept. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The flavor text on that one is good here. Equips for free. Scale of 1 to dead, where's my board at? Okay. I'm gonna find the attack button next turn, opponent. He's got trample, opponent. Maybe they don't realize, oh, they have another grazer. Oh no. The pride, chat. The pride, she cometh before the fall. Grazer too strong. This card's the reason why their greed machine has a chance in these matchups. Alright, if we can dodge a sweeper, we can dodge a ball, chat. Unfortunately, Golos is going to make dodging extra hard here. Alright, that's an Agent of Treachery. But Embercleave is still ours, right? So even if they take Spawn, we get to move the Embercleave and kill them. Oh, that's true too. The Spawn trigger next turn kills them out with the Stormfist trigger. They could find a life gain land here, though, to not beat into that, right? Haven't been able to watch much because college started back up, but here on fall break, ready to watch some Eldraine Standard. Thanks for the third of a year, Sunko. Hope your school year is treating you well to start. If we draw an untapped land here, we did not. If we drew an untapped land, we could have put Embercleave on here and pumped it, which would have been nice. Let's just take a look at their hand. See, Spawn knows who he plays for. Spawn knows who Papa is. This does not ignore timing restriction, so they cannot do anything in response. Spawn of Mayhem, take me home to the place I belong. Punch their face now with your trigger. Kill them dead. Golos dead. They could have hit Spiral into a life gain land. That's true. So I think it's just Paragon out, Duress is in. Run it. That's how I've been sideboarding. Seems fine. Yeah, I mean they had an out and they played to it, right? Had an out and they played to it. So we're dead. Can't win anymore. They played a Boreal Grazer on one. Can't win the game. Rats. They saw the line, chat. He is a hefty boy. Well, with the land next turn, we get to do this. So, maybe? Pretty happy with how we sideboarded. Hopefully we'll keep more than 5 cards this game and draw more than 2 lands. For 4 to 5 lands is probably our sweet spot. This hand's decent. Maybe a little bit slow on the draw, but turn 2 Crusader on the play is definitely just like our single best play. This card's just so good. I feel like I should work on a Jund deck that plays this card in Questing Beast. Is that something I should work on? We can find this card with Once Upon a Time. I feel like Jund aggro is something I should put on a list of decks to explore. And like, if you're someone that's not quite sure how to brew, my thought process that you just heard me go through there is a great way to approach it. You just ask yourself like, okay, what are 2 cards that punch above their weight class? And can we play both those cards together? Are great questions to ask yourself, basically. All right, so I'm gonna take Realm Cloak Giant here, and then I'm gonna Duress the Stephrey. Huh? I think it's just Rankle here. We'll probably see them chump block with Grazer, but that's fine. Alright, they don't have double white here, notably, which is good. Next turn I can Murderous Rider plus Fervent Champion and crack in for a good bit. So you have a 4-4, but this clears that out. If we don't get swept this turn, I feel like we have a pretty good shot. Sure. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so what if I make us draw and then drill bit after? That seems potentially appealing, right? Definitely just taking Decree there. If they exile Rankle, I lose most of my pressure.
This isn't a fight you can win.
It's so weird to me that people keep mentioning Field of Rune about an anti-Field of the Dead card, because like we had Field of Rune last season, and Field of the Dead decks were still everywhere. I feel like I'm like living in this alternative timeline. Double Champion's actually really good here, huh? Because double champion means both champions can attack. And again, I have this Order of Midnight sitting in my hand. That means if they sweep the board, I can pick Rankle back up again next turn, which is exciting. Oh, am I dead on the backswing? Fuck, I'm just dead on the backswing. They had third Field of the Dead. Yeah, I wasn't counting on a third field. If because they only had 2 fields in play. Yeah, I've been bad about swearing today. The ladder makes me want to swear. The ladder blows. Really frustrating that, like, the correct answer to the ladder is that I just shouldn't play Magic. For people wondering why I mulliganed that hand, it didn't cast Spawn of Mayhem. Can someone fix Kuntz if I banned him? The buttons are right next to each other. It does, Harbinger. This is a new season. So we have to top 1,000 or 1,200 again this season to get to the next one. So last season qualified for the tournament at the end of this month, so we have to do it again this season. That's super unfortunate, because now if I don't draw a spell, I can't Spawn a Mayhem this turn. Yeah, it feels bad, man. They're gonna play like a Spellbreaker and run us over. Thanks for 11 months, Wadicus. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So we're going to 10 here, but then putting us to 10 makes the spawn a 5/5 here, which seems very good for us, huh? I think I'm playing Rankle on defense for the first time in his life. All right, they ran out of gas and Spawn's taking over here. Super dead to Embercleave, but aren't you always? They are dead on board here next turn. Yeah, I feel like that a turn they attacked with the Bone Crushers and the Pelt Collectors when my spawn was still a 4/4 was a mistake out of them. I feel like the fact that they tanked here is probably good for us. Hopefully that's indicative of the fact that this combat's about to go our way. I think I just play super defensive here because I'm pretty far ahead. Yep. Do I pay a life to draw a card? I think so. Leaves me dead to another Bone Crusher off the top or a Shock. Sure. So I'm technically winning if they draw a brick next turn, right? So if their top card's a blank, we win. So I think I'm just supposed to go back to me, because if I draw with Castle and my top 2 cards are bricks, I lose. So I think it's correct to just, like, take the conservative route here. So if this is a haste monster, though, or like a removal spell, I'm dead. But otherwise, Spawn has them dead next turn. So I think this is the line. Sweet. Discard spells, Embercleave's out, pile of removal spells in. How do you feel about Crusader in this matchup? I feel like we're supposed to pull it out. Usually Spawn's not playing defense. I'm gonna bring in 1 Disfigure. I think especially on the draw, Crusader's a liability. Nice plays. Thanks for talking that through. Not sure I would have seen that. Good example of playing a little slow. Yeah, and like those are the ways you want to talk. You want to think about, like, okay, what outs do I give myself by drawing? What outs does my opponent have to play to? Which of those 2 things do I think are more likely to happen? So whichever one's more likely to happen, that's good for me. If I have a choice, I want to play towards that one. Feels like a shock here. Yeah, remembering that one holds priorities taking some getting used to. Not a committee. Thanks for the quarter of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Surprise! It was both. Alright, so I think because they got frisky here, I'm gonna get frisky. This one, I like the War of the Spark Foils. They're nice. Very nice. Unfortunate. I really like to draw an untapped land here so I can Rankle to trade Fervent Champion for their Spellbreaker. Now I'd like to draw a land so I can kill both their creatures. That's actually better than drawing a land to kill both their creatures, because it means I get to hold on to Grasp. assume one of these is dead here. Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick my little Dorko up here. Oh, I have a Knight of the Ebon Legion to pick back up. That's better. Again, still hoping to draw a land next turn so we can Rankle to trade this for their bigger creature. They want to leave up green? That's weird. They have a Veil of Summer? They're getting priority here. They must have a Veil, huh? What if we're gonna see him just cycle it to try and be aggressive here? Huh? Well, this can't block, so might as well attack. I think we're just trying to kill them with Blacklance Paragon here. Yeah, Blacklance is super sweet. It allows Fervent Champion to get Death Touch inside of combat here and kill the Bone Crusher Giant. I want to use my tier 3 towards the aggro build you were just talking about. Definitely New Genesis. So, the easy play here is just kill this in response, right? So that way it doesn't get to fight. And then I go up to 5. And then I get to jump block here. And then we're hoping to still draw untapped land so we can Rankle and then trade this for this, basically. Man, the land just won't come, chat. You're all mouth and no... What does that even mean, Domri? What does it even mean? Alright, so dead to removal spell. Wow, going for it there is bold. Woo! All right. Everybody discard, everybody sacrifice. So, I wasn't going to draw, but because I drew this, I'm going to. I think I want to grow him up. It also gets the damage in. Like I have this in hand. I don't know, that might be wrong. GG. Yeah, the draw makes Rankle individual lethal threat too, which is good. 160. All right, 215. Yeah, I have time to do one more. Need to be done by 245. Should be good to jam one more time. Can we win a die roll? Nope. Well, this hand was okay. And then that was their turn 1 play, so yikes. I regret all of my choices. Should have not queued it again. All right, double Torban here is pretty good for us. They're light up the stages we're just cycled. Yeah, when will I learn that the correct decision for the ladder is just like always don't play? What am I supposed to do? Not play? Is that the answer? Sounds like the answer. Embercleave plus Rider Commitment. Yeah, that's a good observation. Gaining 6 every turn is no slouch. Is it crazy to trade for the champion plus a shock? Oh, it doesn't trade for both. Yeah, never mind. Let's just take it. Oh, and Rim Job. I forgot about Rim Job. Yeah, no blocks is great there. So if I had a third red, we could play this, but I don't. So let's attack with these. And then do this. We could die here. We are only at 14. And they have 4. They have 6 on board, so they only need to come up with 8 points of damage. They have basically all the mana they could ever want. We really want to draw another Fervent Champion here. That would be pretty close to lethal. Oh, do they have the Deal 4 in their hand? Feels dead, man. Does playing this put me dead on board? It does, right? Because he blocks 2 and I take 6 across the board. Yeah, equipping this for free doesn't do anything. I'm dead on board, chat. This does 2 and these power each other up, guys. Guys and gals. Guys, gals, and other. Yeah, losing the lifelink made that a little bit. Well, that was pretty close considering like how bad our hand was in the matchup, huh? We board in Murderous Rider here, not because, we board in Murderous Rider here, not because we want to murder things with it, but because we want to have 2/3 with lifelink. Probably trim a Spawn of Mayhem. Seems good. I've not MB, but that sounds funny. Would you like to shock my card that can't block? Deal. And one way or another, this game will be very over. Well, the scary part is they're missing land drops, so like they have 5 spells in their hand right now, which kind of sucks. Yeah, it's still a good run, Gerd. Is you white and modern extra money? Let's say yes. Really? That's your best possible play there? Okay. That's my first time triggering this twice and not having them blow up. God, how bad was their hand? What did they keep this game? Now we have to play a hard game. We have to try and win one on the draw. So that's the easy game, the one where we're on the play. We have 10 1-drops in this deck though, so maybe we have a shot in the draw. Maybe. Yeah, they get like a bunch of Doom Blades into a frenzy. I guess their hand was probably reasonable. They missed a land drop on 3 though, right? So they were like removal spells, frenzy, and then maybe they didn't have frenzy in the opener. Hey, Sienna Geek Media, thank you for the very generous tier 2 sub. You're catching us right at the tail end today. My tier 2 subs support me a little bit extra, so I always encourage you every month when you resub at tier 2 to take a peek at the deck queue. Let me know something in there you'd like to see a little bit sooner and bump it up. Tier 2s and 3s get to do that. Yeah, the scene sounds fine. Not amazing, but fine, just like has a curve. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. Hey, Clow. Thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. All right, well. You know, this is probably wrong. I don't know. Actually, maybe I should have just played this last turn so I get the evasion in. Go get him, buddies. That's really good. I'm definitely doing that. I think I'm just doing this. Even update on my current plans for Historic. Yeah, I'm planning to play Historic on stream, doing sub games. Starting sometime around the end of the month, I think. Shock is pretty good. Now the question is, do I want to Order of Midnight? Or do I want to save the order for after they shock this or this? I think I want to save the order for after they shock one of my things. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, pretty frustrating day overall. Should have not played ladder matches. And again, just always feels like kind of a system failure to me when like the correct decision was just like don't play. It's like, well, I got kind of punished because I decided I felt like playing Magic. Is not a good feel to have. The problem with the ladder is that when you hit a certain rank, the amount at which you lose rank means that you're better off not playing the ladder, because playing the ladder, the expected value is that even if you go, 50 or 60%, you are going to end up losing ladder ranking. So when you hit a good streak early, the correct decision is to just not play the ladder for the rest of the season. What system do I think would be better? So here's the thing, chat, and this is something that the internet fails to identify a lot, is that I don't have to invent a perfect solution in order to be like, hey, this system sucks and this is why it sucks. So, do I have an idea for a perfect solution? No, but I can articulate as to why the current system feels like it leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, I don't give a shit about that Flying Tempest. Like, I don't care what it affects or how likely it is to be impacted. I can still talk about it, right? It's like I can be like, well, this sucks, and this is, why it sucks. The most actually internet thing ever is like, they're like, well, here's this other unrelated thing that's technically correct. So like distraction. And it's like, well, like I get it. You're correct, but like that's not the point here. The point is like, wow, is the top of their deck nothing? So the problem with just implementing a decay is that if you just have ranks decay, matches you play later in the season are just better off. Yeah, I like Wizard of the Coast doesn't pay me, right? So like it's not my job to solve WotC's problems. Is like the TLDR. All right, I mean, if they're a little bit unlucky here. Oh, you know what? The way that worked out, I should have switched those the other way, maybe. Yeah, I didn't gain 6 there, which is pretty bad, huh? I don't know, that could have gone poop for me regardless. Mythics are busted and limited. Yeah, I bet. we're probably dead here. Their frenzies were locked for a little bit, but like their frenzies can only stay so bad for so long, right? Yeah, we just don't have a catch-up mechanic. $200 still's not bad. We're just like, I could have probably sat in it for most of the season, but now we're in a position where we just have to have one good run, so that's not terrible. I don't know, I feel like, so this deck definitely felt more, it was definitely more consistent than the 3-color deck, and obviously the less painful mana base felt good. But honestly, I just feel like some raw amount of power is lacking here. I feel like Rankle, Spawn, Stormfist, like these cards are good, but like, I don't know, a lot of these cards, they just like, on their individual power scale, they just don't really get there a lot of the time. And I feel like the anti-aggro decks, or not the anti-aggro decks, the ramp decks and the random decks in the format that just like, they just have so much good incidental life gain that I feel like the raw power of these decks just aren't good enough. Like, our best draws on the play get them, but like, even without explicitly trying to respect aggro, they just incidentally have all these cards that they want to be playing anyways, like, you know, a Boreal Grazer that just happened to ruin our day, right? So, I feel like not having like a Questing Beast or an Oko style card where we really punch through, or like in the case of the Grixis deck, Scion can jump in and do some really good heavy lifting. It felt like overall the straight red black was, I think it's fine as far as aggro decks go. If you want a 2-color aggro deck, I think this one is definitely reasonable, but I think overall these kind of 2-color aggro decks leave a bit to be desired in this format in my experience. I've not tried that, Kyle. The same thing kind of applies there, but I haven't played games with it. As always, there's like, you know, 24 decks in the deck Q&A point, and pretty much just playing things out of there, and nobody's felt the need to submit that as of yet. At any rate, that's gonna be it for me for today, folks. I'm gonna be ending about 2:30. Be ending about 2:30 every day throughout the week now. So I will catch all y'all tomorrow morning. I'll be live about 7 a.m. with some modern, and we'll roll on into some standard right after that as always. As always, for people who aren't subs, you want an easy way to support the stream, I'm going to do one more ad roll at the end that you can hang out through. Otherwise,